Have you ever faced a situation that almost brought you to your knees?
Haven't we all? But you know, Rufus, it's in those moments that Stoicism really shines. It teaches us not just how to survive such challenges, but to grow through them.
Exactly. That's what fascinates me about Stoicism. It's like having a guide for life, showing you how to live virtuously and stay resilient no matter what life throws at you. Speaking of which, I've been reflecting on the kinds of people Stoicism praises. Let's break it down for our audience, starting with one of my favorites, the reflective thinker.
Ah, the reflective thinker, a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. You know, they're the ones who look at life's storms and say, "What's this trying to teach me?" Instead of reacting impulsively, they pause, think, and choose their response wisely.
Like Marcus Aurelius, who famously journaled his thoughts. Writing wasn't just a habit for him. It was his way of reflecting on his actions and aligning them with his values. Modern psychologists would call this metacognition, thinking about your thinking.
Exactly. It's a practice anyone can adopt. Try this. Before bed, jot down one thing you did well and one thing you could improve. Over time, you'll notice patterns and make better decisions.
Now let's talk about the resilient endurer, someone who turns setbacks into stepping stones. This is the person who, when life gives them lemons, plants the seeds and starts a lemonade business.
Great analogy. It reminds me of Epictetus' teachings. He was born a slave, yet he didn't let his circumstances define him. Instead, he used his hardships as a forge to strengthen his character.
Yes, and neuroscience backs this up too. Studies show that reframing challenges as opportunities activates the brain's problem-solving regions, reducing stress. A modern example, think of people who lose their jobs and use the opportunity to start a passion project.
Here's a tough but essential one, the honest advisor. They're not afraid to tell you the truth, even if it stings, but they always deliver it with empathy.
Absolutely. I think of a mentor I had who once told me, "You're too scattered. Focus on what truly matters." It was hard to hear, but it changed my approach to life.
This aligns with Seneca's quote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction." Constructive criticism is like that friction. It's uncomfortable, but it's what helps us shine.
Let's shift gears to something lighter but equally profound, the contented minimalist. They remind us that happiness doesn't come from having more, but from appreciating what we already have.
Yes, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life." Minimalists today, like those in the tiny house movement, embody this. They strip away the excess to focus on what truly matters.
And science agrees. Studies show that gratitude and intentional living significantly boost happiness levels. So instead of chasing the next gadget, why not cherish the simple joys?
Then we have the empathetic helper, someone who embodies kindness and understanding. They're the friend who senses you're struggling and shows up with a listening ear or a thoughtful gesture.
Right. Empathy isn't just a virtue, it's a superpower. It builds trust, strengthens relationships, and even lowers cortisol levels, reducing stress for both the giver and the receiver.
Imagine a world where we all practice just a bit more empathy. What a ripple effect that would create.
Now to one of my personal heroes, the disciplined learner. They remind us that education doesn't stop at school, it's a lifelong journey.
Totally. Epictetus said, "Only the educated are free." Whether it's learning a new skill or deepening your understanding of the world, knowledge is liberation.
And it's not just about acquiring facts. It's about applying what you learn to live a better life. For example, learning emotional regulation techniques can significantly improve your relationships.
Finally, we have the present moment lover, the one who truly lives in the now. In a world of endless distractions, they're a rare and beautiful breed.
They're the friend who gives you their full attention or the parent who puts their phone down to play with their kids. Neuroscience shows that mindfulness increases happiness and reduces anxiety. It's a win-win.
And it's so simple. Start with 5 minutes of focused breathing a day. Over time, you'll find it easier to savor the moment.
So, what do you think, listeners? Which of these types do you resonate with? More importantly, which do you aspire to become?
Remember, Stoicism isn't just about self-improvement. It's about inspiring others and contributing to a better world. Let's strive to embody these virtues and spread their light.
Thanks for joining us today. Until next time, stay reflective, resilient, and present.